Hey guys, I want to take a second and thank Comfort Pro. Since 2001, Comfort Pro has been helping customers stay comfortable where they live, work, and play. They have 24/7 emergency service and a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. If you need help with your heating and air conditioning or indoor air quality, call Comfort Pro at 484-917-1803. Mention the show and receive a free humidifier with the installation of a complete system. All right, guys, no music, no fanfare, no nothing. We're actually live here today. It's, what is it? It's the Thursday, and I wanted to get on here to talk to you a little bit about what's going on out in California with the fires. I have an agent and actually a friend now. Johny Pach is his name. He was on the show once before. He works for Compass, or he's a real estate agent for Compass Realty out there in Beverly Hills, California. And I thought it'd be great to just touch base with him to find out what's going on. What does it look like on the streets there? What is happening with housing? And what are people doing, to just survive? Because this is such a catastrophe. It's such an anomaly. And so I got Johny on here. We are actually live. If you would have any questions, you can text me or call me. Most likely text me would be great. And we can answer the questions. But Johny, how you doing, bud?
I'm all right, actually. Yeah, not too bad at all. Obviously, deeply saddened by what's happened since last Tuesday. I've personally had around 52 clients that have lost their homes in the Palisades.
52 clients that have lost their homes.
Yeah. And
that's incredible.
It's been some really difficult conversations, Brad. Obviously, these families are distraught. And a lot of my clients are developers. And if you think about the process here, they've purchased, a great piece of land, let's say just off of PCH in Malibu, overlooking the ocean. They have then waited probably 2 to 3 years to get their plans approved to build an incredible home on that coastline. It's then taken them another 2 years, and they're just at the process now of where they want to sell the property. And unfortunately, a few days ago, completely burnt down and decimated. So every client has got different stories. I've had clients which are families who are dangerously close to the fires and nearly lost their lives. And they're calling me up anxiously, trying to get rehoused and into some sort of rental property or into some sort of hotel accommodation. And here's the thing, they've lost everything. So we are here at the Compass office and we're frantically trying to gather them linen and clothes and, food and drink in some sort of cases. So it's a really challenging time. It's been a bit of a stressful time, but there's such a great sense of community here in Los Angeles. Everybody's rallied together. The fire department has just been unbelievable. The Red Cross has been unbelievable, and unfortunately, a lot of people are sleeping and housing themselves within the Red Cross volunteer units.
Wow.
So, it's been a difficult time, but a real positive, a positive, optimistic, upbeat attitude from everybody here.
Yeah, that's incredible. And this is the first time I'm actually talking to somebody that's there on the ground and going through that is experiencing it. And I feel for your clients. I feel for all of the people there. We're on the other side of the country here, and we see everything that we see through the media, and of course, stories and things like that, and a lot of actors and producers and directors, but there's also a lot of. I would think there's probably a lot of homes that are not just the $20 million homes or $10 million homes. I know your prices out there are a lot different than ours, but is there a lot of your average sale price homes that were destroyed also?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Palisades area is one of the most desirable locations in Los Angeles to live. So those properties, the medium sales price over there is probably about 1.5 to 2.5 million, but then you're talking 2.5 million all the way up to about 40 million over in that area. I mean, if you think about it, Brad, I think it's something like 12,300 structures have been lost. And this is a mixture of single family homes, multifamily, and especially commercial, like McDonald's, Chase Bank, the Grove type of situation, big shopping malls. They've all just been completely wiped off the face of the earth.
And that's the part that blows my mind, Johnny, is that I was just talking about this with an agent here in our office, is, your house burns down in a normal situation. You're kind of the only person that is dealing with something at that moment. If it's a singular home burning down, your stores are still open. You can still go to McDonald's. It's terrible. It's tragic. You've lost all your pictures. You've lost all your clothes. But in this situation, what is so different is that you're not going to Target because the Target's gone, or you're not going to Macy's. You're not going to McDonald's for a burger. It's all gone. And that's why when they say 12,000 structures, I think people forget your church is gone, your daycare is gone, your schools are gone. That is like rebuilding a whole city all at once.
The full infrastructure is gone. It's just a toxic waste dump over there right now. It's damaging, the nature that was around those beautiful places to live. But as you said, the complete infrastructure's gone. Not food, like water, electricity, gas. Even if your home has miraculously survived those fires in those neighborhoods, what's the point? Your neighbors are gone. Your whole community is gone. It's just so sad. Some of these people have lived there for many, many, many years. And it's just really, really sad. I mean, if you look behind me, right? So we're in the heart of Beverly Hills here, but probably about 5 days ago, it's a very clear day today. The air quality is a lot better over here. But
I was going to ask that. How is the air quality at this point? Is it getting better?
It's a lot better. It's a lot better. This is a clear day here, but behind me last week, full of smoke. You can see smoke bellowing over here to Beverly Hills because the Palisades fire is so close, on the doorstep of Brentwood, which is that way, Santa Monica, just this way. So it was coming in dangerously close. And, myself and the wife, we got evacuation notices last week. It was last Wednesday, very, very touch and go. You might have heard about the Sunset Fire. And, we're driving into Beverly Hills. I'll just tell you a bit of a story. We're driving into Beverly Hills. We were just going to fill up the car with some gas and just get some food for the evening. We're driving back because we live about 8 minutes that way. And this is kind of getting more into your kind of West Hollywood, Hancock Park type of neighborhood. But we're on the doorstep of Beverly Hills. We're driving back, and then we're all on like a group message, and one of my friends says, "Oh my God, Running Canyon's on fire." And I showed it to my wife, like, no way. And as we've turned left to pull into the corner of our apartment, there is a giant fireball to the left of us. Wow. Running Canyon is about 3 miles away from our apartment. You always see everybody's influencer pictures and videos on top of Running Canyon looking over the city. I generally hike up there quite a fair bit. And as we're turning into the apartment, it's on fire. And it felt like it was just next to you. Yeah. So we hopped up to the top of the roof. All of our neighbors are there in the roof and just looking dead ahead at this giant fireball. And it was chaos and carnage.
So it became real for you at that point. Really real. Yeah.
Yeah. But we packed up a suitcase and we were ready to get a flight out of there that evening to get back to the UK. But then we were getting the evacuation notices, but you couldn't evacuate because the freeways are all closed. Jeez. It was pandemonium on the roads. Nobody could move in the roads, so you couldn't drive out of there. LAX were cancelling a lot of their flights because the air quality, the smoke was so bad. So it was touch and go at one point. Thankfully, they put that fire out because it was becoming dangerously close to the Sunset Strip and Hollywood Boulevard. You know, the famous street with all the
Yeah.
Hollywood stars on the
Yep.
floor?
I've been there
That,
a long time ago.
oh man, that was on the verge of getting completely wiped out. If they didn't contain that fire, it would have been a bit
Wow.
of a difficult situation. And then when you cross uh, Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard, you then hit a whole row of houses. And then that was where we lived there with our apartment building. So
Jeez.
it was pretty scary. They managed to contain that. But
Amazing.
Brad, if you think about it, right, so far, probably I read up 40,695 acres have burnt since last Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
And if you think about it, New York City is 14,500, just New York City.
Yes.
Now imagine that land scale burning and getting wiped out. And they still haven't contained it. I think the Palisades fire behind me, they've contained it to about 20% now. And the Eaton fire, the big Pasadena fire, the Altadena one, that's about 33% contained. But the fires are still burning.
Yeah.
All
But
we,
they're
all we
not,
need
are
is
they not, are they away from housing more now? Is it more just more forestry or fields and stuff that's burning now?
Here's the thing.
And the wind has calmed. Well, the wind jacked up a little bit, I guess, the other day. And is it back
Yeah.
down again?
So the wind jacked up a little bit the other day, which created the auto fire. You might have seen that one.
No, I didn't see
And
that one.
these embers with the wind, these embers are traveling miles in the air and they're landing on a certain neighborhood. It could be like 10 miles away from the actual
Crazy.
fire. And it's just igniting and starting up.
It's unbelievable.
Unfortunately, we've seen, some people over here that are kind of arson, vandalizing, and actually starting the fires themselves as well, which is stretching the fire department even more. But it's been a little bit of a chaotic time, but there is a movement. There is a real community feel with everybody, and everybody's giving back, and we're giving back to the fire department, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I know it'll be okay. We're the U.S. and also our communities within our country. I'm sure same as UK. When things like this happen, people come together. Doesn't matter if they're Republican, Democrat, whatever race they are. It doesn't matter. People come together because at the end of the day, this is not that fire didn't care who you were. I mean, it was not prejudice at all. It just went through and wiped everything out. And it's just so sad. So one of the things that we've been hearing on the news and things like that, I just want to get some clarity on some of this. The rent gouging, is there a lot of rent gouging? And also, how do you displace, let's just say 5,000 homes? Where do those people go? I mean, there's not enough homes to rent. I mean, they've got to go somewhere else in the country.
This is it. I mean, a lot of the churches over here are letting families come in and actually house in the church and actually sleep in the churches. Hotels are absolutely maxed out and booked up, and there's literally been, hotel prices really jacked up as well, understandably for this type of situation. Rent gouging is a real difficult one. I'm getting inquiries every day from people that want to sell or rent their home, and they're absolutely jacking up the price. And I'm like, no, look, you just cannot be doing that. These people are desperate. They're willing to pay 3 times over the rental price just to get safely housed with their family. They will pay whatever at this point. It's a very desperate situation. And we are having to have very stern conversations with our clients to say, hey, look, you just can't be doing this. But, then again, you have a lot of clients, like I have a listing at the moment in Beverly Hills, where the owner is offering his car lease for anybody that's lost their car, and he's offering his property fully furnished. So there's little things like that that are going on. These landlords are giving back as much as they can. But
Unfortunately, that's the stuff we don't hear in the news because that
yeah,
doesn't sell. That doesn't sell the news, just so you know. But yeah, I know that
absolutely.
there's probably for every one situation that is absolutely terrible and it's a human being taking advantage of another human being, there's probably another 100 stories of somebody caring for somebody, making sure their kids are okay, finding them a car, like you said. I mean, there's
Absolutely.
there's those things that just don't get reported, unfortunately. But that's
No, for sure.
it's interesting. One of the other things too, what about pets? Like I think about my
Yeah.
dog. I mean, obviously I have children too, but we have our dog is part of our family. Like where are the pets going? I mean, you could house people, but what do you do with all the animals?
I know. And if you think thousands of pets are actually
Yeah.
misplaced and lost right now and possibly lost their lives, which is so unfortunate.
Yeah.
We went to the Burbank Equestrian Center the other day. 250 horses
Oh my
there
gosh.
have lost their owners and the stables of where they live, and they're trying to. We were giving them food, and we were changing their paddocks, and just
Unbelievable.
just being close to the horses because they're deeply distressed by what have happened. They're real spiritual animals, and you can just tell by the look in their eye that they are deeply
Oh,
saddened by what's happened. They really feel it. And
wow.
yeah, we were over there the other day just trying to help out and volunteer as much as we can
That's
to
great.
to help the horses. And here's the thing, because the owners have lost their homes and everything around them. They can't take on the horses there, and they're all trying to sell their horses in this difficult time as well, and get
Yeah.
and get them rehomed as best as possible. It's very sad for the owners,
Yeah. What
and
about dogs?
especially
What
the
about
horses.
dogs and cats? I guess because I'm a dog person. What about that? I mean, is there where are they? I mean, I love horses too. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always think about I just think of because we have a dog and we have a big dog, and I think about where would he go? What would
They're,
happen? I mean,
they're
you know,
sticking with the families. They are
oh, that's
coming
good.
along for the ride.
Oh, that's
They
good.
are
That's
They are
good.
getting into the hotels. All of my inquiries have been, can you please accept the pets? And a lot of the landlords are open to that in this difficult time.
Situation.
So no,
Okay.
they are sticking with the
Good.
family.
Good. Good.
Absolutely,
Good. Well, and you know what? That's therapy for the family too. I mean, if you
absolutely.
you lose your family pet, that could
Oh
be just as bad as everything else.
yeah,
It's
devastating for sure.
it's terrible. And then one of the other
Oh, it's
things is
crazy.
we're hearing a lot about the insurance, and I know Hugo, you probably have questions too. I'm not sure. Hugo's over here to the side; you can't see him. But yeah, so what about insurance? I mean, we're hearing all kinds of stuff about insurance. Are a lot of people insured? Are they not insured? What are you hearing on the street there?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, if you're looking to buy or sell a house in Berks County or beyond, let me know. This is Brad Weisman from the Brad Weisman Show. You probably know I'm also a realtor, but I wanted to remind you, if you have any questions or you need anything, please give me a call, 484-256-5836. Thanks.
Here's the thing, and I think what I'm actually going to do is email you my kind of 10 best tips for
Oh,
dealing with the
awesome.
insurance situation right now. I'm going to send you some content after this interview.
Great.
But just ironically and weirdly, some of the insurance companies pulled their insurance plans on these properties prior to the fires.
Wow.
Um, a lot of the owners weren't aware of it. A lot
Oh,
of the
jeez.
owners, a lot of the owners' homes, they didn't have insurance of the homes, and they knew of that because you'll see the news reports where they're desperately standing in their front yard, hosing down the whole home and the yards to not let the fires take
Yeah.
their homes, and they're openly saying to the news reporters that we don't have any insurance on our home. We have to save it as best as we can. Um, Here's the other thing as well: the insurance payouts, they're minimal at best.
Yeah.
So either way, these homeowners are unfortunately going to lose millions in their home devastation. What I would say is, and probably a lot of the people have already spoken to their insurance companies, but we're trying to guide and instruct anybody that's lost their homes to call their attorney first and just see where you sit with that insurance company prior to dealing directly with them.
Well, and this is one of those things. How many people read their policy? We were just talking about this today.
I know.
Policy comes, it's this thick. A lot of times you end up just putting it in a file somewhere. You don't read it. So you don't really know. And one of the things that I heard recently, and this was an interesting one, I just heard it today, is that a lot of policies do not cover for fire from natural disaster.
Yeah.
They only cover for fire from within your home. So
Absolutely.
if pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. I just heard this from an agent today that they said that they're finding out that when people are looking at their policies, if it's a natural disaster, if a fire is coming through the mountaintop or whatever, and it takes your house, that is a different claim than if your toaster started on fire and took your house.
100%. And we, myself and the wife, we looked at our policy the other day and it was exactly that.
No way.
Earthquake and fire doesn't cover you.
Right.
So, but as you said, if there's a fire in your home, your gas cooker,
you're covered.
Then you're covered. So it's a very interesting situation. So seek your attorney, get the best advice you can before moving forward with your insurance company on that. And I know that it's good to see that a lot of the homes, they're actually getting paid out already.
Oh, that's good.
Which is great, but are they getting paid out a little bit too early before they've even, kind of seeked that professional advice? I don't know. It's certainly something to look at.
That's incredible. It's the scale of this whole thing is what's amazing. It's the scale of it. I mean, you're saying call an attorney. Well, there's 5,000 homes or 6,000, whatever. Do you know how many homes are in that number of 12,000 something? You said 12. They keep saying 12,000 something structures, but do we know how many actual living units were actually destroyed?
So you said earlier around 5,000. I think that's kind of like
I thought that's what it was.
A reasonable number. Yeah, I think that's kind of a reasonable number. But if you think about this, it's certainly going to shift the economy greatly because they're estimating 250 to 275 billion in damage, in damages that's been wiped out by the fires. That's an astronomical amount. Can you imagine? So what that's going to be doing to the property market, because we're seeing such a big influx of renters and people desperately trying to buy another home, that they're going to wait for their insurance payout, but thankfully they have the cash to go and buy somewhere quite initially. That side of the market has tremendously picked up. There was already a shortage of rentals and people selling their homes here. The lack of inventory has been quite difficult over the past year, I would say. So now you're going to see property prices are going to increase, quite significantly, and these unfortunate people will be paying over the odds to get them rehoused and into something quite quickly. Will that bring down the interest rates ultimately with higher property prices? We will have to see. And right now there's a big advantage for anybody looking to invest into LA. We're having a lot of international inquiries from investors looking for multifamily investment opportunities, just because of the the high demand for the rental market right now.
And it could change your landscape there. You could get to a point where some of the streets that used to be single family homes are now each lot has a duplex. Because you get more people in a smaller area.
The rebuild's going to be interesting.
It will be. So let's go back to you're talking about the inventory. This is the thing I worry about with you and other realtors. I mean, we obviously are very concerned about all the people in your area that lost a home. But we also have people like yourself that this is their life. This is how you make money. My thing, I can't imagine if we lost 5,000 homes here in our county, we would all be out of business.
Wow, it's just crazy. Thankfully,
There's nothing to
California.
sell. What are you selling? Are you selling just the pieces of land? That's all it's there.
Here's the thing, myself and my team, we've been hitting the phones today because we're getting so many inquiries from our clients that have lost their homes. We've just been hammering the phones trying to find those listings. But focus on areas of Palos Verdes, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, beautiful neighborhoods just outside of LA.
Okay,
I know a lot of people want to move back to Santa Monica, Marina del Rey. You have to pivot.
Yeah, right.
You have to pivot, and you just have to get grinding and see who is now in a position to sell their home. All of the people we were speaking to before the back end of last year that were kind of contemplating selling their home, waiting for the interest rates to go down and that type of thing. Now it's a different conversation. Now we really need your home. Is there a desire to sell right now? And a lot of the time they're open to it, thankfully, and they're looking to move out of the state or even out of the country. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Palm Springs, certain areas like this surrounding Los Angeles.
Gotcha. Yeah, that you can move to. Yeah. And then what they could do too is take the insurance money or whatever, move to there, and then over time rebuild what you had and sell that. You could sell that then, build a new home and sell it, or do something, build a duplex or something else. So there's definitely a lot of possibilities out there.
For sure. And what's also happening now, and I have to help a few of my clients with, they're going to get the insurance payout. Some of them already have it, and they're just selling their land parcels and moving on.
Yeah.
So, they're going to come in with a big clearance of their area. And then what you're going to see over the next few months is a lot of land parcel listings popping up all over the place.
Right.
Every agent over here is going to be selling land.
That's what, and you're right though. That's what you're going to see. You guys are going to be great at selling land, because once they get rid of all the toxic stuff and all the stuff that's left over, you've got a lot to sell. And then the builders are going to be going nuts. I mean, I should just start a building company and come over there and hang out with you.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
I met a couple of developers the other day for coffee, and we are really formulating a plan of how they can rebuild LA, rebuild these structures and these homes in a more safety efficient way. Because I couldn't believe it when I moved here, Brad. So many of these homes are just made out of wood. I'm just so not used to that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
We're used to red brick, solid, solid homes with solid foundation. And over here, they're just made out of wood. So if you get a big gust of wind ripping through your neighborhood, you're in trouble.
Yeah, we're all built out of wood here, but we don't have the threats that you have. We don't have earthquakes. We don't have wildfires. We don't have any of that stuff. So for us, it's a norm. But Florida, they don't build anything except for cement. It's all concrete because of hurricane.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I think that's going to change. Your building codes are going to change.
There's a lot of news on there about the Rebuild Smart LA 2028 on the lead up to the Olympics. I would urge your listeners to go and check out some of those YouTube videos and see their grand master plan of what's going on there. Makes you think, suddenly we get all of these crazy fires in January, where, the most unprecedented event that's ever happened here in LA. And then there's a lot of news coming out about this Rebuild Smart LA that's going to happen on the lead up to the Olympics. So it's kind of ironic in a way.
So the conspiracy theories are out there, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. With any occurrence, that's the way it happens. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to say thanks. We're going to wrap this up because I know you're busy trying to help your clients, and we're going to get moving here. But I want to say thank you for coming on here. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And, we've become friends via online and email and text and things like that. And I want to say thanks for staying in touch because, it's great to talk to you. And I'm glad that you guys are pushing forward. Everybody's going to be okay. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna email you. Lots of kind of like giving back links. How
yes, that's the other thing I wanted to ask you. That actually, there's one of the things I want to ask you before we stop. Where can we go to help, and what's the best way to help? Because I know people on the East Coast are definitely helping. We're sending things. I know Keller Williams, the company that I work for or work with. They're coming in and they're going to be bringing lots of water and all kinds of stuff that we bring.
All of that great stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff, and it's that's one of the things that we give to also. But I'd love to know that. So get me all that information because I will definitely put it out on all of our social media. Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And, we wish you well.
Absolutely, Brad. I'll keep you absolutely updated with all of this. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, I'm going to send you as much information as you can. And thankful for all of your listeners and this great interview. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself.
I'll keep you posted.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Thanks for watching this special edition of the Brad Weisman Show. We appreciate it. We will definitely be putting all the information online on social media, with whether it be Facebook or Instagram, everywhere that you can find us. We're going to put information about this interview, about also how you can help. Johnny's going to get us all that information. And if you want to reach out to Johnny, you can do that too. We'll hook you up and get you directly to him. Okay. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Are your kitchen and bathroom way overdue for a remodel? Well, I got the guy for you. Call John Sellers at First Response Contracting, 484-256-7136. Both residential and commercial services, and he's licensed and insured. Call him at 484-256-7136. First Response Contracting.